What's up, guys? How's it going? Sned, Dadzilla, Martarius, Daniel, Keandre, Muhammad, Shaba, Jay, Eric. What's up, guys? Can everybody hear me okay? See if I can fix the camera slightly. You cannot hear me. You can or you cannot. Definitely. Sound quality good. What's been going on? Sorry I missed you guys last week. I've had some bunch of stuff going on with my wife and the pregnancy. So there's been some complications, and I just haven't had a lot of time to dedicate to the game or any of the stuff nearly as much as I wanted to. I had some really cool stuff planned for last week, but life got in the way. So we're here. I'm gonna try to be as regular as I can for you guys, pending any crazy stuff going on in the life. But yeah, honestly, I haven't been playing a lot of Madden with everything else going on. So I've been getting in to do my league drives, and I have pretty much not done anything else. No, I haven't played any head-to-head. I did build two of the bosses. I built Sean Taylor. I always love his cards, and I built Shazier, who both have like ridiculous cards. And I'm trying to remember when the last time, I think it was like 2 weeks ago that I streamed. I think I already had Willie Brown and Paul Krause at that point, but that's really the only changes to the team that I've made, that I can think of at least. Yeah, what's up, Paul? 99 Problems. So 99 Problems, we are not recruiting right now. We just added a couple new guys, and typically we like to kind of like let that mesh in and see how everybody works. We don't like to add a bunch of new people all at once. So 2 new recruits in right now. Both of them are doing pretty well. Hey, what's Bobby Bob? What's good, man? Matarius, little HSD, he's good, man. He is, he's actually doing really well. It's my wife is having some complications with the pregnancy. So right now he's good. He's going to be 28 weeks on Sunday. So we're really super excited about that. And the longer he stays in there, the better for us at this point. So, you know, we've got our fingers crossed on that. Audio's turning bad. Hold on. Let me assess the problem. It's good now. Okay. No, we're 99 Problems is not accepting new members right now, but doesn't mean we won't in the future. We've just added a bunch of new people recently and kind of letting that stuff flesh out. So as of right now, you know, probably not making any sort of changes to the league, but we've been doing really well. We won a game yesterday, like by one point. We played Gunslingers. They played us really well, and it came down to the very end of the match. It was kind of crazy, but yeah, we've had some really good matches. We have another good match today. We're playing, who was it? Evolution's Asylum. Yeah, and they play a lot better than their ranked. Like they've almost beat us twice now, and I think like both matches came down to the very end, if I remember correctly. So yeah. What's up, Aussie? Rich, Dadzilla. Yeah, that pace card. Yo, what's up, Lynn? In my opinion, I saw the Tomlin set, and I haven't played enough of the season rewind stuff. Where is it? The review. So I don't know how many. Like I have one have one instant replay. I think I used some right when the set came out, but I haven't really done anything to see. But anyways, I don't know. If 30 is a lot, then I probably wouldn't waste a whole lot on him. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but I honestly, I mean, at this point in the season, like I said, I don't think he doesn't make as much difference as he used to. So I wouldn't like go crazy trying to get him. What? Why this guy forfeit? I haven't even played the first set. That was my first head-to-head match in like forever. As you can see, I'm in silver 3. Let's check the leaderboard. Who's doing what? Bear Down's still holding it down. I think is Bear Down in here? Usually he's in here. What's up, Arrow? Yeah, 630 collectibles seems like a lot. Yeah, Bear Down has been like rocking head to head for the last like 2, 3, 4 seasons. I don't even know how long, but I every time I go in and check, he's always up there. So, props, man, you're crushing it. I think. Like, I haven't really checked. I mean, if Risky makes a push, I might try to, like, finish out the year and stay ahead on the all-time leaderboard, but I don't know. Oh, Jay Hill, you're Bear Down. I knew that. I knew that. Of course I did. Let's see if we can't get some gameplay in rather than just sitting here listening to me talk the whole time. Yeah, man, I missed you guys, too. Again, I didn't... I just, like, sometimes it's just going to be too hard with everything else going on. So, what is it that, I guess, what are you guys' thoughts on Overdrive? I know Noob Kill and D Hitman and QJB and iLogix pretty much all dropped a bunch of stuff on Overdrive, like gameplay from EA Play. I have some content recorded as well that I recorded with those guys. I just haven't had a chance to get it together for you. But I will be making an effort to get you guys some stuff on Overdrive prior to it coming out. But I can try to answer any questions that you have about it that's, you know, falls in line with what I can answer for you. So, yeah, with the fantasy scoring, that was, honestly, that was like a really big question mark for a lot of us as well when we found out about the fantasy scoring. I'm like, fantasy scoring? Nah, it's got to be football. You got to have, you know, touchdowns and things like that. And so I didn't really fully understand it. It sounded really gimmicky to me when it was explained to me. It sounded like it was going to be an arcade game, but... that being said, I had low expectations when I went in to play it for the first time. But after I played Overdrive a little bit, I did kind of understand why they went with that, and it makes some sense because the way Overdrive works, if you've seen the videos of the gameplay that people have posted so far, is you have a set amount of time to play head to head. So I think it's like 3 minutes right now, and all the stuff that has been released. I guess the disclaimer I'll point out is all the stuff was recorded on like a really pre-alpha like version of the game. So it's all subject to change. Nothing's final. Till like the release of, what is it, August 15th, I think they said. So that being said, you have a limited amount of time, and it's real time. Like, the clock doesn't stop ever. And in 3 minutes, the idea was, how much can you actually score? You know, how many touchdowns are people going to score in 3 minutes on like actual drives? And if the answer is only like 3 or 4 touchdowns, it's going to be, or even less, I don't know. It's going to be hard to really differentiate who just got lucky at the end of it. You guys get out of here. Sorry, my dog's busted in. So where was I? Talking about fantasy. So how are you going to differentiate the people that are actually playing well versus someone who just got lucky and scored a one-play touchdown, something like that? And after playing it, I can say that it doesn't feel. It feels very organic to the game. Like it feels like as you're playing it, after you play a few matches of Overdrive, you start to figure that out. I think that my concern was, it's going to be Hail Mary Hero. People are going to throw bombs, and honestly, that's like the first thing everybody does when they go into the game. They're like, I can just throw touchdowns. The reality is, the gameplay is so much better. The defensive AI is just like on a completely another level. So you can't just toss it up anymore. Like you will get picked off, and the defense makes plays now. So with the gameplay completely changing, you can't just toss it up. I mean, there are plays that I found while playing it that where I was like, I can run this play, but there was nothing like super cheesy. Honestly, I thought running the ball was going to be bad, but actually running the ball feels amazing in the new game. Cutting and juking, everything like that just feels like you have way more control. It feels way better than what it does right now. And so it became less about like worrying about like the fantasy scoring and more about just like methodically making your way down the field. So yeah, I mean, my personal opinion after playing it for a while is that I like the fantasy scoring. I mean, it's weird having such large scores, but after you get used to it, I think that it's going to be a good change, and it was necessary from that standpoint of having limited time. Focused on scoring. Alvin Kamara and Russell Wilson. Alvin Kamara and Russell Wilson were the only captains for the build that we played. There are going to be more captains. Just the version that we played was like really, really dumbed down for EA Play, and so they only limited you to one of those two guys. Any cool pack art? We didn't see any. Nothing content wise. So like none of the players in the game, like packs or anything, like none of that was in the version that we played. Swag Life, yeah, man. I usually show the dogs at the end of the streams, so they've been in a few before. But yeah, the next time, towards the end of the stream, I'll bring them in. I'll show them to you guys again. The playbooks were set to the captains, so having a different captain, and I don't fully know all the details yet, but in the version we played, like Kamara had a different playbook assigned than Russell Wilson did. Selecting plays kind of against me for the time I'm not spending moving down the field. Yeah, no, James, I totally agree. And that's going to be a big adjustment for people head-to-head wise is it's much faster paced moving. So you can't, like right now head-to-head, I like what I'm doing right now. Like I'm just sitting here methodically moving down the field and I have 24 hours to do my game. Much different. So you can't just sit pre-snap and like try to read the defense and things like that. That's not going to work in the new version for multiple reasons. One, because of the time, but two, the defense is smarter, and you'll see like defensive ends like jumping around. They adjust. It makes it a lot harder to actually do pre-snap reads. Not to say that. I mean, none of us had enough time on the new build to even like try to do any pattern recognition for zone versus man and all that stuff. I mean, you can still get some formations, but I think at the end of the day, a lot of the transition is going to be to making post-snap reads as opposed to making pre-snap reads. And I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that. I think that there's, if anything, more skill needed to make the post-snap reads and make quick decisions than there is pre-snap reads. So is it an adjustment from what we have now? Yes, but I still think that there's going to be a high level of skill needed, and I think that the players with more skill will end up being like much better. There'll be a separation in the game for players with more skill. What's up, Austin, man? Yeah. Austin's a good place. Let's see here. Regular head-to-head, I don't know. I don't. They haven't really given us. Again, the build that we played, the one that they gave us access to, the only mode that was available was Overdrive, and so it was just like completely locked down for EA Play. So there wasn't any stuff that we could explore to know about any of the other game modes or anything like that. So I really don't know on that. What's up, CHF? Welcome, man. League v League, I don't know on. They haven't really given us any details on that. Again, just straight up, just Overdrive is all I had the opportunity to test out. Yeah, James, so scrolling through plays, so when you load up Overdrive for the first time in August, there's going to be a learning curve, right, for everyone. You're going to have to play a certain amount of matches to start learning the playbook. There absolutely will be other game modes. It's not just Overdrive next year. And so I'm sure there's going to be opportunities for you to learn the playbooks in other game modes and in Overdrive. But, you know, when we first picked it up for the EA Play version, none of us knew anything. So you spend time scrolling through the play and like, yeah, if you're playing somebody who has the entire playbook memorized, you know, then you're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage there. But once you start to figure out the plays that you want, and that's what I did is I found a few different plays that I was leaning towards that I liked, and I just kept like recycling through those as I was playing the Overdrive matches. And just like this year, I mean, when the game came out, all the plays were new. We didn't know what plays we wanted to call and things like that. And so you're absolutely gonna the people that put in the time to learning the plays are gonna be at a better advantage to knowing like quickly like, oh, I need to call this play, I need to call this play. Wait, sometimes blah blah blah. I mean, yeah, and James, I wouldn't imagine that you would be wanting to enjoy rushing through the playbook, just hopping right into Overdrive. You would probably want to study that or play Overdrive matches just for the sake of learning the playbook. I mean, I'm not going to win this match. I'm just going to spend time learning the playbook. And I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know what modes you're going to have to learn those kind of things, but that's how I would approach it. I would absolutely play games with the intention of losing just to learn new plays. And I've done that in other instances of Madden before. I guess I should run some plays while I'm talking about this. What do we got? So, do you know if there are any game plans next season? I don't on the game plans. There were no game plans in the mode that we played, but they haven't really given any clear indication yet. Yo, what's up, Clyde? Welcome. Lost Dragon, I don't know, man. It could be. Again, they didn't really give us any insight to that, so I just don't know. All pretty much the only thing I know about is Overdrive, and you know, I'm somewhat limited on what I can talk about that, but I can probably answer most of your questions on it. Yeah, we got promoted. There we go. Man, everybody's team's so good this year. There's going to be so many 125 overalls. It's crazy. Matt, what's up, man? What's your league name? Jay, the QB is actually not easier to move around in the pocket. That was one of my gripes, was that the way the quarterback movement in the pocket he felt like sluggish almost in that version I played. And I think, again, I don't know how much of that is final or whatever they're going to plan to do with it, but it's not nearly as easy. Like right now you can be like really mobile, but I guess what I will say is that moving around in the pocket right now is absolutely necessary. And it's necessary because the offensive line doesn't like to block, and they don't know how to block. And it's due to more like flaws in the gameplay, because the engine's so old. So something that I notice on the new version is everyone kind of does what they're supposed to for the most part. So I think that it's nice having the ability to count on your blockers, like especially when you're running, like your blockers that pull out in front of you. They will pull out and they will like take their assignments. There's no like, you don't have to loop back around with your halfback to get them to pick up the block. You don't have to shift around in the pocket with your QB to get your right tackle to pick up the defensive end. Like all sorts of that craziness out of the game in terms of gameplay. So there's going to be an adjustment because what we're used to now is going to be so much different. Yeah, the blocking actually works. It was amazing. And actually felt, and I think that's going to be a really important thing, is being able to, like in the NFL now, it's really important to be patient and kind of like wait for your blockers to get out in front of you, but they actually like go out and pick up blocks. And that was huge while running the ball. You know, things like that made a big difference. And that's why running was so good, was that in the version I played, a lot of people were just tending towards the run because it was a lot easier. Passing is going to be a huge adjustment. I think most of that has to do with the change in angle of the camera. So right now we have like this nice aerial kind of view. Not this one, but like this view here is kind of like a nice overhead view. And it's more like point of view, like camera's like kind of coming back a little bit. But I think that, you know, once you get used to that and like being able to make the reads for the passes, I think passing will be still absolutely viable and really deadly. So, in terms of Byron. Yeah, man. I'm in like silver though, so I don't know if you're in there, but we can try to match if you're in silver. I might be in gold now, gold 3 or something like that. I haven't played any head to head, so I'm definitely not in Hall of Fame. Clyde, so that Overdrive is a new game mode, yeah, but it's the name of the app as well. They're changing the name from Madden Mobile to Madden Overdrive, but Overdrive is the new game mode. Nothing's confirmed as far as other game modes outside of Overdrive. I mean, there definitely will be other game modes. We just don't have any confirmation of exactly what those are or what those look like yet. Yeah, like a scrimmage or practice mode would be great. I don't know if we'll get it or not, but I agree with you. I would like that. I probably won't get Vic. I'm not a big lefty fan. I used Vic for a long time last season, and I kind of made it work, but at the end of the day, I prefer righties. Oh, Byron. Yeah, man, I'm not even close to the Hall of Fame, so there's no chance that we match each other. And I'm not getting however many fans, 5 million, 4 million fans today in the next 35 minutes. It's not happening. Not in Supercharge. Overdrive is a head-to-head mode, so I don't know that, you know, our version of head-to-head will exist or not. It may, but I don't know. But speaking from, you know, we played a handful of matches at EA Play, and it is addicting. I had low expectations going into it, and I couldn't get enough of it. I love the fact that it's real time and you're playing against somebody, and I think that it opens up the opportunity to just like talk a bunch of trash with who you're playing. I could see live streaming being really fun with it, like having two people on the same stream playing each other at the same time. The tactics are kind of a cool way to like throw challenges at your opponent. Like overall, I had a lot of fun playing it, and a lot more than I thought I would, and I found myself like really addicted to like wanting to keep playing. And what I like about it too is that it's 3 minutes of real time, like all at once, and then it's over. So like I would be angry for losing a match, but it's not the same as losing a match right now. I feel like in head-to-head, because it could take a head-to-head match right now. You don't really know what the result is always. Sometimes I get 3 touchdowns and then I wait 24 hours and maybe they got 3 touchdowns. I don't know. There's no like instant gratification usually, and I feel like this is going to give people that instant gratification, and it's also going to motivate you to want to play more. So overall, I'm excited about it after playing it, especially considering how early of a version it was. I don't know about player training yet. Yeah, they didn't really go into any details. We didn't get to look at like player stats or any of the player stuff, so I'm not sure on the training piece. Jay, man, now that you're number 1, everybody's just gonna like use you as the benchmark. It happens. There's people like, well, I beat him one time. It was awesome, but that's what happens when you're in the top 1. Clyde, I don't know about building your own playbook. I know that when I played the version, the different captains had their own playbooks. So like Kamara's playbook was different than Russell Wilson's, and again, those were the only 2 we got to play with, so I don't know how that's going to look, but I didn't see or get the impression that we're going to have the ability to build our own playbook for anything. No, yeah, the playbook's definitely limited. Like, you're not going to have access to the entire playbook across the board. I think the goal is to have, I think the goal is to have you be strategic to your play style and try to use captains and coaches that fit to your play style and how you want to play the game, which is really cool because I think that it will help to lend itself to players that like to run more. Like I know right now there are players out there that are like, well, I really like running. And so you'll be able to tailor your play, not only your playbook based on your captain. Whoa, that could have been bad. You'll be able to tailor not only your captain, but also like the plays that you call and things like that. So, that was bad. Flacco, I've gone over this a couple times already, but the only game mode that I have any info on is Overdrive. They build we had access to for EA Play was just Overdrive, so there's no info that they gave us on season mode or League v League or anything like that. So pretty much all I can talk about and all I know about is Overdrive. Aussie, yeah, man. With the kickoffs, in Overdrive at least, I would think that kick returners and kickers are not going to mean anything. I mean, there are field goals. Like field goal was an option for Overdrive, so I mean your kicker might mean a little bit, but I don't foresee kick returner being important at all for Overdrive at least. But again, we don't know the other game modes and things like that. But yeah, I mean, from what I played, I don't foresee that being an important position. I don't know what captain to choose because I'm gonna play. Are you able to change captains? I think you'll be able to change captains, from what I understand. You're not gonna be stuck to one. So you'll be able to kind of like move around based on your play style. No, we only had. We didn't get to choose any coaches. So the coaches were pre-assigned, but I think that the idea is that the coaches will be the same as the captains, and that you can like mix and match them. No, this is Breckenridge. My wife got this for me. So she was. It was a little de-stressor. After the crazy couple weeks we had with all the stuff going on, she was kind enough to think about me instead of herself, which she didn't need to do, but that's what she does, and that's why I love her. So anyways, this season I am feeling a bit jaded on. I honestly just can't get the motivation to keep like grinding out anything. I log in, like I still like my league and I still like the stuff that we're doing, but I think that my head-to-head motivation is completely gone, especially after getting a glimpse of like the new game engine for Overdrive. It makes me feel like there's so much to look forward to. And then I think about like how much I get angry about some of the stuff going on in the game right now, gameplay wise, which there's just nothing we can do about. But I guess it's good to be optimistic for the future. Whoa, that was a weird sequence of events. I am having a boy, No Man's Land. Lost Dragon, I do not know about training. He'll, if the stars align and I have time to dedicate to head-to-head, I will try to make a push with you one season before the season's over, this season's over. It's just tough. My wife's basically on bed rest, and I just don't have anywhere near the time with everything else going on at home to put in as many hours as I normally would and give you like a proper matchup. But if something changes, for sure. I do feel bad. I don't know that we ever had a chance to go like all in the same season so far. Most important skill? So, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you. Jemiker? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for coming to the stream. Appreciate you being here, man. So, Aussie, going back to what would be the most important skill, based on the limited time I had with the new game, I would think that it's going to be hard practicing on this game mode because the engine's completely different. But maybe practicing post-snap reads, like instead of trying to like figure out what's going on with the defense prior to the snap, like snapping the ball, and then like knowing read progression would be a good thing. So that's not going to change, like your progression of which receivers to look for. So you should know on something like let's say trips corner strike. I mean, this is countered obviously, and we know that, just pattern recognition right now. But assuming we didn't know it was countered, you would have your reads, right? Like you would say, okay, well, Rice is my number one read, and you know, I'm gonna watch the cornerback and the safety to see kind of like what, if they're playing man or zone, if I'm gonna have a chance to throw it to my cornerback or my wide receiver one. And my second read is gonna be Moss on the little out flat there, which if I get blitzed, then I can a lot of time hit Moss on that. And then my third read is my wide receiver 2 Brown on basically like a little curl route. It looks a little bit different here. It looks like an in, but it's really a curl. And, you know, if Moss is covered, then I can go to Brown. And so I have like a progression that I go through. And I think that things like progressions and being able to like quickly snap and see, all right, the safety drop back to zone along with the cornerback, they're deep zone, so I can't go wide receiver 1. I can hit the slot receiver real quick. Things like that are going to really benefit you well in the next season. And I think that the better you are at you know, kind of like methodically learning plays like strong flood. That's like a really basic concept, right? So you've got a flat, you've got an out route, and you've got a go route. And each one is strong versus like a different type of coverage. And so like knowing basic concepts like that, I think will help you in the long run. So learning read progression would probably be the biggest thing. Thank you guys. Thank you for the congratulations. I'm really excited. I wanted a boy. My wife wanted a boy. So we are all in. Gem. I can do gem. Gem's easier. Let's see here. League play, Gem. I don't know on League play yet. I only know Overdrive. They haven't really given us any info on League. As soon as we find out, and it's something I can share, then I'll let you know. But right now we don't know. Stat wise, they didn't give us any info on stats. No Man Land. My impression is that stats will have more meaning than they do now, and I think one of my biggest complaints has always been, like, what do they mean? Like, what does a stat mean? What is... I mean, obviously, we know what speed means. We know what acceleration means. But things like awareness and play recognition, like, all we can go off of is, like, definitions for console, I think, for the most part, is, like, what our wheelhouse is in terms of what we know on stats. But it's really ambiguous, and it's hard to see in game how different things affect other things. So my expectation is that stats will have more meaning because the game engine has been upgraded so much. It feels more like console, and whoever this guy was, he played a really good game. We both tied on time, I guess, so it went by yards. It's crazy. All right, Clyde, take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by. What's up, Feed the Monster? Was there still a bunch of pass interference from defenses? I saw less of the pass interference. So the really annoying stuff for me right now is when you have guys on either like drag routes or not even just drag routes, like any route where they get gummed up. I didn't see as much of that, a little bit, but not nearly to the extent that it was in this version. What's up, man? From Brazil. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad I helped you out. That's kind of the goal of the channel is to help you guys out as much as possible and get you good info. So, Jem, you beat me once? Yeah, man, definitely. A lot of people, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from it, but you know, definitely a lot of people have beaten me in the past. And I don't take it lightly. Like, I hate losing. And so if you beat me, you know, props to you because you deserved it. And, you know, you probably outplayed me in that game. So that's awesome, man. I appreciate you letting me know. Super Saiyan God. That name sounds familiar. I think I've seen that name before. So, obviously you did something right because I remembered you. The camera angle definitely was an adjustment. I don't know that bothered me would be the right word, but I think that it was a lot harder to adjust because I'm so used to being able to see kind of like on top of everyone and being able to see how things develop a lot quicker, which, like, I guess if you think about it, it's kind of cheap to be able to see like so high up because you can see everything at once. So this one forces you to kind of see from the quarterback's eyes. So it was harder, but I think after like a few more matches, I started to get a hang of the camera angle and how that worked. But I mean, it's going to be a big change for a lot of people. There were no audibles in the version I played. I haven't heard anything about them adding in audibles, so I don't know for sure, but I don't know. I would guess no, but I don't know. I have zero clue. Oh, No Man's Land? Yeah, man. I am, in this version that we play in currently, I am 100% positive that the player's size affects the hitbox and how often they get gummed up. I think larger players are going to be 100% more apt to get gummed up at the line of scrimmage, and I think smaller players will get away with it, but I think taller players obviously have the advantage of going up and getting the ball. Man, that went down the wrong pipe. All right. What else? What other questions do you guys have? What's up, Dark? Slant drags. All right. Here's the thing about slant drags. I think slant drag sucks. I'm going on record. That being said, my opinion is solely based on the fact that I don't use it. But I'll tell you what. I'll do I'm about to next match. I'll run slant and drags. I'll do a little my version of a clinic on it. I don't claim to be an expert on the play. I ran it a bunch to try to see if it was viable, and it's not that it's not viable. It's just that I think that for what it is, there's so many other plays that do the exact same thing but better. Now, that being said, it's a tool in your toolbox, right? Like, having a play that you know is better than not having a play at all. So, like, if you need a play to call and you know that play, like, absolutely. What's up, Darren Gaming? Carlton, teach me the ways. I'm gonna clip that shit. All right, so we'll run slant drags this time. See how it goes. Shaba, yes, that's my main gripe with slant drags is versus man coverage. So we've got a zone coverage here, and then basically zone coverage can go one of two ways. You've got Ingram, which is basically just like it's a slant, but it's like you throw it like a corner route. You've got Rice, which I pretty much never throw to, and then you've got Moss, the slot on the drag, right? So, oh, you also have the wheel route from Lynch. So with a zone, basically you're looking for the exact same thing that you would be you'd be looking for on a corner route. Like, is this guy gonna go, like, are these defenders doing medium, shallow, deep zone, whatever it is? So let's hike it. They're all going deep, which means the halfback's mostly open. But you could have either gone halfback there or the drag route. Both were open. But I'm not disputing that slant drags is good against zone coverage. It can beat zone coverage. This is man coverage. Man coverage, you can't throw it to the tight end. You can't throw it to the halfback. You could try to bomb it deep to the wide receiver 1. Really, your only option is Moss, your slot receiver, and you have to assume that he's going to beat the man coverage. Well, that was countered. I guess I didn't think about that. Regardless, that's my problem with slant drags. Now, I do know that some people will throw it up to the tight end still on man coverage, and you'll get lucky. I mean, it's always possible to get lucky. But I don't like to count on that. Carlton, what are you talking about? Why did I only put up 16 in League v League? Why? Honestly, I didn't play that well the first drive, but I also hit a 1% counter on 4th down. That was not fun. But I don't want to blame it on the 1% counter, because I could have done a little bit better. You have Night Train Lane. Nice, man. He's a good player. Mr. ML Striker, what's up, man? I mean, you can... Okay, yeah. Man coverage, you can scramble, for sure. Eric, when did I hit 2K subscribers? It was a while back. Maybe like a month or two ago, I think. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. Can you run scramble on that play versus man coverage? Yes. Which gets back to my original point. Is it that much better than any other play? Like, is it better than bunch flank or drive? No, not at all. Trip strong flood, I can use scramble on that. Tight end wide receiver corner, I can use scramble on that play. Empty trip stick, I can use scramble on that play. Strong eye fullback middle, I can use scramble on that play. Motion Y stick, I can use scramble on that play. Empty trip shallow cross, I can use scramble on that play. Bunch Z spot, I can use scramble on that play. Like, you can use scramble on any play versus a coverage that doesn't matter, but that defeats the purpose. Like, I don't have to rely on scramble to call a play. Like I said, it's a tool in your toolbox. I don't necessarily think it's the worst play in the playbook, but I think there are a lot of better plays than that one, and which is why it usually never ends up in my rotation. Okay, what do we got? How do I feel about Madden Overdrive? I just spent like 30 minutes talking about Overdrive. The stream will be recorded, so if you want to go back and talk about it, I mean, we can talk about it a little bit more, but I like it. I think it's on the hearing about it versus playing it is much different. And I think that hearing about it, I can see where the negativity comes from, because I had a lot of negativity going into it, but after playing it, I can say I really like it personally. I obviously can't tell you how you're going to feel, but I do feel like it's very competitive, very addicting, and I think that skill will mean a lot, which means a lot to me. Dig post. I've seen a lot of people calling dig post. I assume the read is a scramble read. Yeah, like I get it. And I figured that out. I was like, oh, okay, like you can. It seems like a play that you could get away with not, and a lot of play action plays are this way, but you can get away with not having to use scramble. So you can actually end up just like running up to the sideline. It probably depends on which way you're running with your quarterback, but I've seen a lot of people scramble for like 80-yard touchdowns with it. I don't personally use it again. I don't have a huge need for it. I mean, but in the event that you're being live countered or something like that, you know, it never hurts to have more plays in the playbook. All right, apparently they don't want me to call on this play. It's gonna be counter too. Let's go something crazy like motion QB draw. We're towards the end of the stream. We can get away with dumb stuff. Nope, not quite. HSD means... Yeah, HSD is just the acronym for my name. Play action food. I don't run... I mean, I've run it before. It's not very good, but... Fullback dive. Can you see the dogs now? Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna yell, so I'm gonna mute myself. Alright. Hey guys. Sit. Okay. This is Jameson. She's running away. Jameson, come here. Sit. Good boy. Good girl. All right. So the one on the right is Tully with the brown. The one on the left is Jameson in the black. Both are named after our favorite Irish whiskeys. That's Tully. They're both pretty cute dogs. They're good dogs. What? I don't have any food. They think I have food. That's why they're being so good. And then Tully likes to mess with Jameson. So, all right. Go on. Get out of here. Out. Go on. Out. Go, go, go. Go on. Go. All right. Whoa. The colors went crazy. I don't know why the color's so crazy. Now my eyes are all creepy. Oh, look like a demon. Oh, there we go. Alright, now we're back. And we have a total of 3 minutes left in the stream. Alright, what do we got? HSD, Baby Boy's doing some spin moves. Yeah, Lynn, he is doing some spin moves. He's been going crazy in there, so he's gonna be for sure an active one. Bunch C crossing, yeah, I can do that. Wait, somebody said PA boot first, so we gotta run that first before we do anything else. And hopefully we don't get a safety or anything crazy here. Almost threw an interception. All right, then we'll do crossing. Main coverage. I think main coverage. Oh, did we get safety? We did. We got safety. That wasn't good. It's bad. Ugh. Not good at all. And we won that? What? Oh no, that poor guy. Did he throw an interception at the end? Oh no. I got a safety and he got an interception. Oh, that was a shit show. Alright, well I'll take it. What else did we miss? No, the dogs aren't twins. We got them both from the Humane Society. They're both unrelated mutts. One with a pick six. That's how I do it. That's all skill right there. Yeah, that was good. Okay. Anyways, guys, that's the stream. I don't really have anything else for you tonight. Like I said, I do have some content from EA Play recorded that I will, time allowing, get out to you guys and try to give you. I'm gonna try to do it a little bit differently than you saw from like Noob Kill and D Hitman. I'm gonna try to make it more instructional. So hopefully that means that it will be educational and help prepare you for the coming season. So that's my goal. Yeah, hopefully I'll be back next week, barring anything crazy going on, and I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Thanks for coming. Arm wrestling. I'll beat you in arm wrestling right now, Carlton. Bring it.